If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector.
And if you like my content, please consider subscribing.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Meet the Collector. You guys saw from the thumbnail, you know who I got here today. I've got the man himself, the Prince of Posing, DAmazing. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. That's a good one. I've never heard that one before.
You've never heard the Prince of Posing?
No, that's a good one. I've never heard that one. I've heard Satan. I've heard God Enabler, but I've never heard the Prince of Posing. I like that.
My goodness.
Accept that name. I was glad to accept that name.
All right. Well, we'll take it. We'll make it official. We'll trademark it after the interview goes live. Dude, I just want to say thank you so much for sitting down, taking the time to do this. I know you've been super busy. You were just at MegaCon in Orlando, which is sort of my neck of the woods. I'm in North Florida. I'm in Tallahassee. So how was MegaCon?
MegaCon was. I've been going to MegaCon a lot, and it's great. I just think that when it gets warm in Florida and all that pollen starts to kick in, it begins to beat my ass. Like, it's rough. And like my eyes are watering. I got a stuffy nose, but it's 80 degrees. I'm like, I can't breathe, dog. Can't breathe. So it was rough. It was really rough.
Yeah. Man, I don't know if you've ever been down here between the months of May and August, but when it's like somewhere around the neighborhood of like 173 degrees, it's horrible. It's just.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't like going to humid places. Like, this is why I avoid certain places. And if I do go, I go usually in spring or like fall. I don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Summer. I never go see anybody's summer.
I wish I could avoid it too. I'm ready to move. Well, I got the extreme opportunity to meet you last year at IshCon. You had a table set up, and let me tell you, man, I was so blown away at just how nice and generous with your time and just how jovial you were. I always kind of think of you as more of like a serious toy reviewer. I don't know why, but in my head, you always come across like you're so specific with all of your information. And I was kind of blown away when I asked to take a picture with you. You were like, yeah, but as long as it's goofy. And we made like the goofiest faces and we took some goofy pics. I love it. I thought that was one good one, one goofy. I thought that was awesome. And I was like, man, I need to sit down and talk with this guy. I just need to learn so much about him because we know so much about you through your channel already. But what I like to do is I like to do a deep dive that kind of wipes away the channel stuff, or if somebody works for a company, like when they paint for a toy company or they do a sculpt, I'm like, I don't want to talk about any of that. Or like Trevor, 1/6 shooter, I was like, let's not talk about photography. Let's just talk about collecting. So I've got 20 questions that I like to run you through. So if you're up for it, man, let's do it.
I am. I'm just letting you know I'm just tired. It has nothing to do with you. It has been a long week because as soon as I got back from MegaCon, I actually, while I was at MegaCon, I had a family emergency, and I've been wrapping that up. So I've been sleeping like 3 hours a day since I got back. So I have not had any sort of rest. So I'm tired, but it's not you. Just letting you know that now.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Well, let's get through it quick, and so you can get back to resting, and I hope everything's okay with your family. And you don't got to go into it. I just hope everything's great. All right. So let's kick off at the beginning where we all start. What was your favorite figure growing up?
It was my G.I. Joe Ninja Force figures. I had a G.I. Joe Ninja Force, and it wasn't actually Ninja Force, but it released at the same time Ninja Force. I think it was Firefly V2. I had a Spider-Man figure, and I had my brother Sofubi Kamen Rider V3. Those are my favorite three figures.
Man, that's awesome. That's very specific. I love it when people have very specific extras. So you must be really excited about G.I. Joe. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying those created big core memories for me. So I was just like, that was like a big thing.
So Kamen Rider has been with you since the very beginning, because I know you're a big Kamen Rider fan.
Yeah. My brother instilled that in me by accident. He didn't even know what it was. He just liked it and got it.
Yeah. I like that. So you must be excited for the G.I. Joe Classified series. They're getting into the Ninja Force, right? Slice and Dice is coming.
Listen, when people were talking about how they hate Tiger Force and Ninja Force, I was like, yeah.
Now we're getting into my jam.
Yeah, everyone's like, this is so stupid. I love that kind of stupid stuff. It's like when everybody hated the clone saga. Everybody loves clones now, but everybody hated it when it came out. Because everything that's old will be new to someone else. So you got to finish your story. I promise you, someone somewhere will like it, and those are the people who you should reward. If people didn't like it, there's plenty of other things you can move on to. unless your show
Right.
gets canceled or your comments get canceled, then I get it. But there's like a ton of things that people will go and they love that you don't have to like be mad at somebody else loving it. And that's
Yeah.
why I'm at.
Yeah, I don't like to yuck on anybody's yum. And Common Rider, dude, I don't know if you're into Hot Toys, but I just saw their Common Rider sets. Like they're doing like the two different guys and the two different bikes.
Right
Are
on,
you
White
gonna
Rider
be?
too. So people have asked me, and the answer is no, I won't be collecting. I don't have the space anymore.
Yeah,
So I
it's tough.
gotta stick to like a certain format, especially because if I buy the Cyclone and Cyclone 2, like I really would have no space at 1/6. They were really, really
Right.
big. So I just can't do that. Also, that's like
So
bucks that I can spend on 12 different comic wraps.
Uh, absolutely, 100%. So, a lot of us, me included, 'cause I've collected since I was, geez, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years old. But a lot of us, there's a period. It seems to be like when we get into like maybe high school, just get into high school, maybe first couple years of college, maybe through college, where we discover other things and we kind of like take a break from collecting for a while, but then something kind of like jumps back on us like in our early adulthood, and we get back into it. I like to call these like the dark times. Did that happen to you? Did you have a big break where you took a break for a while? And when you came back to it, what was the figure or the line of figures that like brought you back into it as an adult?
I guess I was a young adult, and this is gonna sound funny because my friend is gonna kill me. So my friend John used to work at DC. And I remember one day we met off some off chance, and I ended up like doing work with him at DC. I did like trivial things for him. And ended up doing work, and he was on like the DC Direct stuff. And I was like, oh my God, these scopes are awesome. I wanna like these toys are great, and I love this. And this is like when I was working at St. Mark's Comics. And I was just like, I should start collecting again. And the next thing I know, I'm like 60 figures in, looking great.
Mm,
Yeah. And it was just like, since then, I haven't gone back. I think I was like, I want to say at least 20, 20. No, I was 22. I was 22.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I realized like that's what I wanted back in.
Yeah, it's always kind of weird when we look back to see what was it that pulled us back in. I want to say like I didn't collect all through like high school and college. I wanted to, but I didn't. And then I got a job like in college, working at like a Suncoast movie store. I don't know if they had those around where you were, but
It's
it was just like yeah. And then they would just be flooded with like McFarlane horror stuff, McFarlane movie stuff. And they were basically, staction figures. I mean, they were, they barely moved, but that's what got me back into collecting. And I look back on that now, like none of that's a part of my collecting now, but that's what it was. That's what pulled me back in. It's like, oh wow, toys could look like this. It's
but I
cool.
tell people all the time, like the thing that catches people, and I mean really, really catches people, it's always like, if I get one and try it, what's the harm in it? And then you go, there's something in you that goes, you've always wanted this. And now that you've
Hmm.
taken the first step, you could just keep going. Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to run before you can walk. Right. So it's just, you just go.
Right.
So I'm here.
That's amazing.
Like, no, no. It's almost why I keep doing this, why I keep making videos, because my video is going to be somebody's first video, some first foray into it. So I'm like,
Hmm.
you know what? I'm going to keep making them because it's always going to be somebody's first video. And maybe this is the first step that they need. So it's
Yeah.
that plus the joy that I bring to it where I'm like, I'll keep doing this. I'll just keep doing it. There's no money made in this, but I'm just going to keep doing
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's really funny because I think you know, just thinking about YouTube in general, and doing what we do, there's the people on like my end that are, 2 or 3 years in, have like really low numbers, and like we do it for the joy of it. It's like, oh, you're not making any money. I mean, I make probably like, I don't know, $100 every 2 or 3 months. Like I make almost nothing, right?
it. Yeah.
But and then there's the people on like your end that are, past all of like trying to get this number or this number or this number or this, whatever, and you're doing it for the joy of it as well. It's almost like that middle group, like they're on it for the grind, but like I'm still in it, you're still in like the joy part. I just do it because I love it, because otherwise I would be buying stuff, looking at it and putting it in a box. This way I get to share it with other people.
I really hate when I got in that phase. There was a small phase I had of uh, buying stuff and then not open it, which I had to make a new rule. Everything that is for me that comes into my home, toy wise, needs to be open. It has to be open. If it's a double, it doesn't get open for obvious reasons. But one of No matter what it is, it got to get open. It has to get open. And that has brought me immense joy because I also have another rule where I don't talk about a toy that I don't have in hand
Mhm.
because it forces me to open everything and like really sit with it. And then it also forces me to not judge things based off of a prototype picture or based off of what somebody else said. I only talk about things that I physically have had in hand.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad that you brought up rules because that's a perfect segue because that's my next question. For me, I would buy everything. I just will find joy in so much stuff. So I have to have rules and guidelines like to keep me in my lane. Basically, I only really, for the most part, I only like to collect stuff that is like modern remakes of or toys that I had when I was a kid, like growing up in the 80s. Like that's my bread and butter. Now, there's a couple of exceptions to that, like Mythic Legions and things like that. But
Well, that's
like
adjacent, so it counts.
right. Yeah. I mean, I always grew up playing with knights and dragons. I mean, it's adjacent, right? But it's that nostalgia that just really like pulls me in. So, do you have rules and guidelines for your collecting? I know you just give
It's
me two, but
just those two rules. Everything else is it's if it sparks joy, it's in my crib. That's it. Because I'm not held on by nostalgia. That shit I actually hate nostalgia. Nostalgia is a big
mm,
red flag to me. Um, I normally don't talk about things I don't like, but I notice that as I get older, I don't like nostalgia. I like core memories. I like seeing it for what it is. I like taking the good out of whatever situation I can, but I absolutely do not like nostalgia. Nostalgia blinds
no, you're right. You're absolutely right. There's many times when I look back at like a TV series that I loved as a kid, and I want to go back and watch it, and it's not good. Like,
you.
I don't want to name names, but there are several cartoons that I grew up with that I would tell you to this day is some of the greatest some of the greatest like cartoons ever. But I go back and watch it, and I can barely make it through a single episode. It's
See,
just you're right.
and that's nostalgia. Whereas you can like it because it means something to you, but you can't go and say, "Oh, this is the greatest thing ever," because you can't even get through an episode. That's a lie.
Right.
You lie to
Yeah.
yourself, and when you lie and gaslight yourself, you start to get this weird Stockholm syndrome of you stuck in just it
Hmm.
has to be this way. So now you can't get any new fans into it. You can't get new friends into it because you don't even enjoy it yourself. But you have to like praise it at the same time. You're stuck in a
Right.
vicious cycle. So nostalgia.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool, cool. This is something else I have to do, as a husband and a father of three kids, and bills. Nothing's getting cheaper these days, but I have to set myself a budget. I have to literally give myself an allowance
Yeah.
for my collecting. Do you do anything like that? Is there any kind of do you get a budget, or do you have to set limits for yourself?
So years ago, there was no type of budgeting because everything kind of came out and you kind of knew when it was coming out. Uh, the pandemic kind of changed all of that.
Right.
It
Right.
doesn't have a
Right.
solid date anymore. So since the pandemic, I don't pre-order anything anymore. The last 2 years I've been
Mm,
pre-order free, right? And I told myself, if I want it, I'll pay. And if I don't really want it, then I'll let it go. It's that simple. If I can't trade for it,
mm,
I'll buy for it. That's it. But if I can't afford it, I don't get it. But I know that if it's like a toy heavy month or predicting to be like a toy heavy month, because I order a lot. I used to order a lot of imports, but I know I still look at a lot of imported figures. And in doing that, I go, oh, they give you the month that it's supposed to be released. So I look and I go, oh shit, 18 figures are being released this month in March. I need to at least make sure I have enough money for those 18 figures. What they're going to be, don't know. But I know I'm not going to pre-order it because I don't put that money up front in.
mm. Right.
But
Yeah.
if it
Yeah. Yeah.
turns out, but if it turns out that money ends up becoming more in the aftermarket, that's something I got to pay if I really want it. I can't complain. If I want it, I got to pay for it. I didn't pre-order it.
Right.
I,
Right.
I don't complain about these things. I just don't. People actually tell me,
That's
man, why you didn't do that? I didn't pre-order it. That's my own fault. I made a
right.
conscious
Yeah.
choice with my wallet to go, no, I'll wait till later and pay. I think about the Figma link. I forgot that I ordered this so long ago that I thought I didn't order it. And then I bought another one. And then
Ah,
two came in and now I look stupid. And that's why I don't pre-order things anymore.
yeah, I have them on pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store. I'm really looking forward to that. You must have ordered that like overseas or something.
Yeah, I ordered it overseas. But again, forgot I even pre-ordered it.
Mm, yeah,
And
it
now
happens.
it's funny because I wanted to do that video today, but I was so tired. I was like, nope,
Oh man,
do it tomorrow.
yeah, another
I
day,
got
another day.
Go ahead.
You're probably in a little different space than most collectors that I know of, because I know that you're in New York or NYC. I don't know how close you are to like downtown New York or Manhattan or anything like that, but
Man,
um oh, okay. So I know that you actually have like options, but a lot of us don't. So what is your percentage of toy hunting these days? What does that look like online versus like in person or in
I, I,
store?
I don't toy hunt.
Oh, at all. Okay.
If I want it, I get it. So that means if I want to go to the store to get it, like whether it's Kino Kuniya, whether it's Midtown Comics, whether it's the Tamashi store or a book off or something, I just go buy it. But I don't hunt.
Yeah.
Hunting is not fun in New York. It's not. Everything is like domestically bought up by scalpers. It is much easier for me to order something and pay for it right now online from Japan and get it in 2 to 3 days than it is to
Hmm.
try to go to 17 different targets.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Right.
the part with that. Yeah.
Yeah. When we were in New Jersey for Legion's Con back in November, on that Sunday afternoon, me and some buddies took a trip into New York, and right went into the city, and we went to the Tamashi Nation store for the first time. Boy, that's a trip.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Like they only let
Easy access.
like a hundred, like a handful of people in at at a time, and I loved it, man. That was a really good experience. I didn't personally buy anything because nothing in there just like really like jumped out at me, but I had a friend who bought like a bunch of stuff. He was really happy with his purchases.
Well,
That's a
in a
great
weird
store.
way, it's a weird way, like because I'm privileged in that. Like in New York, I have access to the Tamashi stuff. Like I
Right.
know that I'm privileged for that. I know that. A lot of people will hit me up all the time. Hey man, can you pick this up for me? I'll go if they have it. Yeah, absolutely. I'll pick it up. Just pay for the cost to ship it. No extra charge.
Yeah.
Because I'm privileged to go. Hey, I could take a train 15 minutes over and pick it up for you. You know.
Yeah.
So well, actually, it's a little more than 15 minutes, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get you. I get you. Yeah, we were really hoping that they were going to have the what was it? The new version of the SH Figure Arts Detective Batman, the Robert Pattinson Batman with the cloth cape.
It's out now.
It's out now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it dropped in January.
Right. Yeah, we were there in November, and I think they said it would be after the holidays. So we were like,
Yeah,
we just missed it.
yeah.
I may have to get you to get one of those from my buddy.
That's fine.
He
Just
really
let me
wants.
know.
Oh man, I'll keep that in mind.
It's
I see that you're in a really nice room now with some boxes behind you. Where do you keep your collection in your space? Because I know also new in New York, space is limited too. So,
all of it is boxed up.
oh really? You're not able to keep anything out like this or anything like
Oh, I
that?
had them. I just rather not.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I
yeah.
collect way too many things with sharp parts that I would like to display it, and if it falls, I will
Mm,
be upset.
right. Yeah. Absolutely. Does Mrs. Amazing, is she like, no, you can't have this stuff out in the living room
Oh
or
no, she collects too.
oh man, that's so dope. What
Yeah,
is her favorite thing to collect?
she has every single Sailor Moon figure from SHF. She has her little Golden Girls collection, and she collects a ton of Batman stuff. She's about to hang up her Batwing now. So,
Nice, dude. That's awesome.
so that's why I don't hang up stuff because I'm like, she wants to hang up stuff up. Like in our other room in part of the living room, we have a bunch of stuff displayed, but for the most part, it's like I rotate that display around, but I mostly do not display because I need to constantly work with figures. So I don't want to like display something and then 2 weeks from now I'm gonna have to change it or move it or I need it for this.
Hmm.
Sometimes I don't even get a chance to do that. I'll forget something is right in my face, like now.
Oh yeah.
So see, like it'll be stuff like this. I'm like, I'll forget it's even there because I have so much to constantly work on.
Right. All right. So these are set questions. I have to ask them all of every person just so it's always fair. I already know the answer to this question, but maybe we could put a little spin on it. The question is what percentage of your collection is inbox versus open? So I know you open everything, but you said that you sometimes buy two of. So what do you prefer to keep in package?
Imported figures I prefer in package, but mostly if it's going to be imported figures, because even those I started just putting in Ziploc bags, uh, I only prefer to keep my Common Riders in box. That is because they have V fins and antennas that are very sharp.
Hmm.
So there's
Right.
you can do without breaking it. So that's it. That and my diecast robot stuff. That's the only thing that stays in box. So I'd say about 28% in box and everything else is loose.
Nice. I love specific answers. That's so awesome. Uh, probably already know the answer to this, but what's your preferred scale of collecting?
I wouldn't say preferred, but the one I have the most of is probably 1/12 scale.
Yeah, 112 scale. You don't
1/12
have
is
a
like
preference.
6-inch scale. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, that's a good scale for you when you're trying to like save space. It's just yeah, I think most of my collection, everything is like 112.
It's
What was the
bit
last
of everything.
what was the last figure that you bought?
That's in my house now.
Yeah. Yeah, that you own, that you could reach and grab. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's a
He
box
looks so
coming
good.
on Tuesday.
He looks so good. I'm very excited for that figure.
Oh, that's not true. That's not true. Actually, something came in after him. Hold on. Something came in after him. They arrived like a day apart from each other.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did you do an all in? Do you have the whole Necronominous wave or just
I now have them all. I am waiting because I did a trade for some extra dehydrated men. So I'm gonna get a few extra of those so I can do them pictures. I just built this guy out of a dehydrated man because you get a lot of parts for it. And this is based off of Curtis Ackerman's design. I just tweaked it a little by using the White Templar.
oh my gosh. Look at that. That's so dope. Yeah, I'm excited for that guy, the undead builder. Yeah, like those guys look
I
incredible.
love
That's
they're really good.
yeah, that's
Actually, I
dope.
switched it because I actually had this head on, but I just switched it because I was doing some photos. But I actually had this head on, so it really looked good.
Oh,
Definitely
I love that head. Oh, that head's so incredible. I love that. I love it. Yeah, like right now, the figure that I have on my desk that I've been messing around most is I got the Kai Labs like tunic in, and I put it
I
on a
love
Valiant Knight.
I love Kai so
Yeah,
much.
yeah. I've got the other one that's like dark blue with like the cross, and it comes with like the metal chains and stuff. I have that coming, but yeah, I threw this on. I don't have any of the Necronominous wave in, so this is kind of like my Necro stand-in because I got the soft goods over the Valiant body, so I'm good. But I've been messing around with
No,
this guy
it's
all
a good
week.
look though. Like the torsos in these guys are slightly different, so that way they have a little bit of extra range. You'll see in my photos because as soon as we get off, my Sir Elijah video will go up, and you'll see. You
Yeah, Sir Elijah, I have him coming from a guy on eBay because he's the one I could not do without. Like he was the one I wanted to get. Like he's if I could miss the whole wave, but not that one. Like I got to get that guy. So
Sir
he's
Elijah's
yeah,
like I literally just finished his video before we got.
nice. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I can't wait. What is your current favorite toy line?
I really don't have favorites, but the one I'm enjoying right now because they do a lot of mass characters, Warhammer, Joy Toy Warhammer.
Oh yeah, I'm into that. I have like five or six. I don't have a lot, but they're so wonderful. I love that.
I'm
I
at too
love that
many.
line.
Let's leave it at that. I'm at too many. My wife is actually
Okay.
upset about this one. Like normally she doesn't get upset. She's actually really upset about the war.
Uh-oh. I like that.
I'm
Um,
like 307 figures in, and she's like, all right, from too much.
they just keep making them.
But they also make them in waves, and I don't like they
Yeah.
release so fast, right? They'll put them up for pre-order, and then they're available in 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then they get you too because like one figure will come out in a wave and it'll be like $35. You're like, that's nothing. I got that. That's great. But
35.
then they'll also yeah, but then yeah, exactly. And then they'll drop like one big super commander that comes out with a whole bunch of junk and he's like $160 and you're like, wait a minute, like I wasn't expecting that.
Well,
No,
I'll
that
take all of it. I just finished putting up Sanguinius. I left his weapons out because Sanguinius's weapons work really well with Mythic Legions.
oh, because there's so much okay.
Yeah,
This answer is
work with Mythic and Cosmic Legions. I tell people that all the time.
that's really dope. This is probably just like mine. It's probably going to change every single day. But do you have a current favorite figure?
It changes by the hour.
Right. Oh, by the hour. Okay.
Every new figure that I'm touching in my hand is a new favorite. I'm not even joking when I say that.
Yeah. So it's like what do they call that? Recency bias. So like whatever's the most recent is like yeah.
Yep. It's 100% biased because nonstop I find a new thing. Like watch, see, like, I keep reaching over, and it's a new toy every time.
Tupiculize. Fantastic. Oh gosh.
See, I can literally just keep doing this. Just
Yeah. Oh, I'm really excited about the Jada Toys. Is that the Jada Toys like cyberpunk figure right there in your hand?
Storm Collectibles Adam.
Oh no, yeah, yeah,
But you see what I mean? I can literally just keep grabbing figures.
yeah.
So for me, it's all fun.
Dude, this is amazing. Yeah, you don't seem tired at all. We have like blown through the first 10 questions in 21 minutes. I can't believe we actually did that. So I'd like to take a break between the two groups of 10 just to give you a chance to like plug all your socials. I know you don't like doing that, but where can we find you? Where can we find more D in our lives?
You can find me on my website, which is d-amazing.net, which I upload photos in high res if you want to take some inspiration there. You can find me on Instagram at d2_, and then the word amazing. You'll see my work there. You can follow me on YouTube. It's just DAmazing. But you don't have to do any of that. Just enjoy the work that you see out in the world, and I'll be happy with that too. Or drink water.
Drink water. I love it. You end every video with that. So this is kind of an odd one. Do you collect anything other than action figures?
Yes. Oh, you want me to tell you? Okay.
You don't have to. No. It's cool. You don't have to share if you don't want to. Yeah, a simple yes will be fine. But yeah, if you want to elaborate.
I collect pins with my wife. So all the pins that people have been giving, the hardback button pins, we have a button board. And we collect them for everybody to get from.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
So me and my wife
Very cool.
So for everybody that's watching this, all the Legions guys, I know you guys make a ton of pins.
They do.
I collect all the pins. I collect
Sweet.
I never mention it because that's my secret little thing. That's my hobby within a hobby. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some of us do that. Like I have a buddy of mine collects action figures, but he also collects coffee mugs. He doesn't tell anybody, but I always buy him coffee mugs. Like anytime I'm out, like somewhere. Okay, all right. So you said that you don't pre-order anymore. So let me change this question around. Instead of what pre-order are you most looking forward to this year? What figure that is unreleased that's coming down this year are you looking most forward to?
I stopped looking. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't know. I don't know. I stopped looking. Listen, let me change the question that I guess would fit a better answer.
Hey, let's do that.
Not knowing about a toy and being excited when you learn about a toy has been far more fun. So
yeah,
I stopped looking at toy news. I stopped trying to figure out what's what. The other day, I found out about the sexy nice mantis girl. I didn't know that thing even existed. It's been out for like 7 months. And then I went out and got one and I was like, ooh, this is awesome. And I was fascinated by it. And I was like, I can use this in Kamen Rider and I can use this for this. And I was like, why? Because I didn't know anything about it. I wasn't spoiled by anyone or anything. And that was it. It was fun. It was
yeah. That's awesome. That's kind of like toy hunting in a way. I mean, that's kind of like you didn't know it existed. You happened and I'm assuming that you came across it like probably like on a website or something or
someone actually shared it. And this is why I share posts that I like. Because when I see a post I like, it would have what happened if I never would have posted it? What if happens if it never came across my radar?
Right.
And I know that I have a large range of people who may see my stuff. So I'd be like, you know what? Let me widen this person's audience. If I can help, fuck it. Why not? Excuse my language.
No. That's fine. You can totally cuss. It doesn't matter. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, let me ask you this. Okay, so let me ask you a more direct question. Are you now? I know you kind of have to like not kickstart, but kind of crowdfund this. Are you going to be getting the Mythic Legions dragon?
I want it.
But space.
No, I want it. That's it. I want
Full stop.
That is an item I have to pre-order though, because it's crowdfunding.
Yeah.
That's a little different. You
know? Right. Yeah. Right.
Like yeah. Pre-order. It's like a HasLab. Like
right.
It's easier if I actually just pre-order. But normally I would. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So yeah. You're never gonna go to like Legion's Con and like find that dragon sitting out for purchase. It's just more than likely not ever gonna happen. So yeah.
So in that case, I'm like, I will pre-order this thing. So
yeah,
that
was sweet.
There are exceptions because that's the way it's made, right?
It's the nature of getting it, right? Yeah.
Or for whatever reason, let's say I had to pay the aftermarket. Cool, I got to be okay with that.
Yeah,
I really wanted it. I got to be okay with that. It's either
right.
I pay whatever the retail is now, or I pay the aftermarket later, or I trade for it, or I figure something out. But people are so driven by the base of money anymore. A lot of people don't trade it. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. Me and a lot of my friends that are in like my private like toy chat groups, we trade straight up one for one. We don't get caught up in the like the money. Like this one figure's worth 80, your one figure's worth 20. Like we just don't do that. We're just like, you want this? Yeah,
Like, basic stuff.
exactly.
What's funny is I don't even put a one for one thing. Sometimes I'll tell people, I don't need these three, but I need that one. Here you go, because they
Right,
need it at our home. So it just
right,
I just trade. Period. The value is value is hard to explain to me because there's obviously monetary value and then there's
right,
sentimental value. In some way, you got to find somewhere in the middle for both.
right. Yeah,
So you try a little, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
there you go. Um, now we get into some of the more speculative questions, and these are some of my like the ones I love the most because,
It's
yeah,
tough.
you kind of have to.
It's
Yeah, you
tough.
got to. What is a figure or a line that is unannounced, but you would love to see made?
All of them.
All
No,
of them.
no, no. Hear me out. Hear me out. I know this is a very generic answer. I will get more fine tuned with it in that way, but I'm I want it to be so that stuff is made so that even the small audiences can get the things that they want, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, it sucks that everything is either kickstarted or done this or that, but everybody should get a chance to get their toy made. If it's especially if it's a really
Yeah.
cool toy. There's there's literally an audience for everything. I have a friend who at one point only collected UV reactive figures. It didn't matter what the figure was, only that it was UV reactive. Right?
Whoa. Okay.
So there is a niche and a dynamic for everyone. But me personally, I'm rooting for everybody out in this motherfucker. I really am.
Right.
But me personally, if there was a line that I would like to see that I know that would, and this is me personally, I would love to see stuff like Pirates of Darkwater or Exo Squad, like stuff like that. I know would make really cool toys that would just
Right.
never done again. And
Hmm.
again, that's not a nostalgia thing. That's a if this thing was updated and done really well today, I'd absolutely buy a ton of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Yeah. That's so. It kind of sounds like from your preferences, like you kind of grew up like your childhood toy was like in the 90s. Was that like your
Yeah, because
was
that's
that when it
when
hit hard for you?
those are my formative years. Back when
Yeah.
lawmakers was like toys are addictive and you can't make 30-minute commercials, and I was like, okay, I'm still gonna buy it.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah, I never looked, I know that in the 80s, cartoons were there to sell toy lines. Like I get that and all, but I mean, it's just kind of like I'm 48 and like the minute I finished like say Alien Romulus, I wanted a Rain figure.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like that
yeah.
happens.
But that's you being indoctrinated from before. You just don't know it. Now, hear me out.
Probably, yeah.
Here's the good news about what happened, right? Those lawmakers was like, you can't make 30-minute commercials. So then shows have to make really good TV. And 90s cartoons were awesome because of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
it's a win-win. It's a win-win.
Yeah, you still get to sell toys and your show was still great. Yeah.
But now your show is better. And you've created this. It's weird, right? Because now you've created this long-standing version where that when I got old enough, if you made a toy, my brain goes, I want that.
Mhm.
So I'm getting what I want, which is both nostalgia and a mix of, wow, I couldn't get this when I was younger because this show didn't do too well. But somebody somewhere 20 years later said, I'm going to do this for everybody that wants this. And that's what
Yeah.
we're getting now. So I think we're in a good spot. I think we're in
Yeah.
a nice middle ground. We're not too far off on each side.
Yeah. Sweet. Awesome. All right. This one's a fun one. And I'm looking forward to your answer on this one. So, if you could take a toy license away from one company and give it to another company, what would the license be, and who would the company be?
Wow. Huh. We never actually thought about that.
Take all the time. This is recorded. I can cut out all the dead space.
No, I'm trying to think though. Like, I could take a toy line from someone, give it.
Yeah, I kind of think about maybe restructuring the question. It's like, do you have a favorite toy company that you would love to see like make a different line of figures they don't have the license for? You
No,
know?
that's the way I take. Oh, that's the way.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to think. Okay, hear me out. This is gonna sound sweet.
I love it. Crazier the better.
right? And I'm gonna do this for multiple people, right? You take NECA licenses and you give them to Mezco,
Okay. Any lines
right?
in particular?
All of them, right? Just they swap around for like 3 years, right? Just let them try different stuff. Then you take all the Figma's licenses, especially like the cool Nintendo ones like Samus and Link and stuff we couldn't get before. You give that to Bandai, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You take Bandai's licenses, right? A bunch of Bandai licenses, you give it to Mafex.
Mm.
You take a bunch of the Mafex licenses, right? And like the movie stuff, you give that to Figma. What Figma wouldn't make action figures. You let them make cool statues because Figma actually Good Smile as a company, not Figma.
Right,
Good
right,
Smile
right, right, right.
does make cool statues, right? So just imagine like the big shakeup of everybody kind of just rotating licenses for like 3 to 5 years, trying
Yeah.
different. It'd be a blast. It'd be a
That would be a blast. I would get into it. I love that when Figma comes out with something that's more cinematic or something. Like, didn't Figma do like Death Stranding? Didn't they do a
yeah.
couple figures from Death
Yeah.
Stranding? And I was like, oh, that kind of is a little out of their wheelhouse. I mean, it's in that video game vein, but like I remember when they put them out, I was like, oh, I mean, they look pretty good. I mean, that the facial like
motorcycle that was made was really nice. The motorcycle that got made and the Cliff and the Norman Reedus were really dope.
yeah, 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 yeah. I like those a lot. Did another toy company do the motorcycle? Was it more like a model?
It was a model kit, but that was also Good Smile.
Oh, but it was also Good Smile. Oh, okay.
You know what I
They
mean?
just didn't do that. They didn't do it in the Figma line. Is
Yeah, they didn't do it as a Figma EX. They did it as a Motoroid, so that way they separated the parts and made it as a model kit, so that way they could keep the cost down.
perfect. Okay. I always wondered about that. I always wanted to pick it up and I never did.
It's a good
I
buy.
need to fix
Good
that.
buy.
Yeah, I played through the game and really enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to it. The sequel. I still don't know what happened in it. I mean, even though I played through, I still don't understand it, but
I'll be
I
honest,
enjoy it.
I couldn't get into it. I just did
Yeah,
not enjoy it. But
yeah.
you know, it's Kojima,
It's
so somebody did.
yeah, exactly, exactly, absolutely. Kojima understood what was going on.
I
Uh,
don't think he did either, but I'm
he may not have. He may not
that's
have.
why he made a sequel.
That's right. We got to figure this out. What is your favorite toy con to go to and why?
Anyone I don't have to work.
That's perfect.
Because I work a lot. I work like
Yeah.
a lot of them. So anyone I don't have to work at and I could just relax, I'm in. I'm in.
Have you ever been to Legion's Con?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you there? Have you?
Because usually at Legion's Con, it's crunch time for work related stuff. So I
Okay.
go and enjoy the show, and then immediately I go home to work.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people
It's
have a
not
lot
too
of stuff
far
to
from
get
me.
ready. Right. Yeah. 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 It's definitely not. Um, do you? And I probably already know the answer to this because of just the way like your personality is coming through. I get it. Do you have any collecting regrets?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay. Do you mind sharing any?
I'm trying to think about the most recent one. There's nothing that I collect that I regret now, but I regret certain actions. Like for
Yeah.
instance, I usually feel bad, and I shouldn't, but I feel bad when I get people into a toy line that they don't actually like. Because I noticed that, and this is an influence thing, right?
Right.
This is why I had to change how I do things. Because I realized some people, and I hope they don't take this the wrong way, some people like being told what to buy. And I don't like doing that to people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like
Mm-hmm.
doing that. So it gets a little conflicting for me because I'm like, I like this. I enjoy this. These are things that I like. And before I would word it as, this is awesome. You should get this. And I'm like, can't say that anymore. Because then people take that as,
Mm.
I'm telling them to buy something. I'm not telling you to buy this. I'm telling you that I enjoy this, but I realize words have consequences to them in this
Right.
parasocial way. So I'm like, now I only talk about what I enjoy, not what you should enjoy, not what you should buy, not what you should try out. I go,
Right.
I really like this. This is a thing that I like. This is a thing that I don't like. But you have to still build an opinion for yourself, which is why I get called boring in my videos. And I'm like, I'm okay with that because I'm just informing you on what it is. Because I realize that in a space of influence that I have with as many people that follow me, I need you to build your own opinions based on your own preferences, not based off of my preferences. Because what I like,
Right,
you
right.
may not like. So that is a collector's regret that I have.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I feel that a lot. I was talking with somebody today, as a matter of fact, and we were talking about how there are certain toy reviewers that if we, like a friend of mine was saying that if there's a figure that I don't want to buy, like there's a certain toy reviewer that I will go and watch because he's going to crap all over this figure and he's going to make me not want to buy it. He was
But you see
like,
what I
but if
mean?
I am but he's like, but if I'm on the fence and I don't know whether or not, he's like, I am not going to D's channel because D will make me buy that figure in a heartbeat.
See what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
the regret that I have because I'm like, I know that personality shows in different ways. And I
Yeah.
know for me, even though I tell you this is what I like, you're gonna go, "Oh, I like that though. I like that. Let me get that."
Hmm.
And then, you know, so I kind of regret the power I have, but I'm also like I try to be responsible as possible.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So you had an
I
Uncle
guess I'm
Ben
like
in
a
your life. I appreciate it.
yeah.
I dig that.
Yeah.
Well, this is a perfect segue into my next question, which is, has a friend or a fellow like toy collector ever gotten you into a toy line that you were otherwise completely uninterested in?
Absolutely. My friends do it to me all the time. I,
What was the last one that happened like that?
the sexy nice. And then I think something else recently. Hold on. It's probably out there. But the sexy nice was definitely one of them. And then one time Wade and my boy Julio put me onto the alphabet series stuff. Uh and then like my boy Julio put me onto the gun girl thing because I didn't know anything about that either. So yeah, there's all that.
Happens all the
And
time.
yep, yep. And then
Yeah.
Seven on when he did Veteran William, and then I learned about Monster Force because I actually didn't know anything about Monster Force. And again, now I'm addicted to it. I completely army build an army over it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm really enjoying Monster Force right now. That's a
Yeah, I really like
fun
that stuff.
wave. And I'm really looking forward to like their non-monster line, the Soldiers of Fortune, which is coming out. Like, I'm excited.
Listen. I'm just gonna call them Johnny Quest related. That's what they look like.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, I'd be down for that. Let's get more Johnny Quest. If you had to sell it all and only keep one toy line and
Nope, get
only
rid of all of
focus
it.
on
If I gotta sell it all has to go.
you couldn't keep one
No
line and
compromise.
focus on one.
No, you can't
Yeah.
compromise. You can't compromise. You
Okay.
can't say sell it all and keep one. That's a contradiction.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. There's a fault in this question. I'm going to review after the interview. Uh, all right. Your house is on fire. You got to run out.
Cats.
Yep. Your wife and cats are fine. They
Nope.
totally made it
That's
out.
it. Nothing else matters.
Okay. All right. There's not one thing you would not one figure you'd grab on the way out the door. Be like, I got to save this one.
I don't give a shit.
That's good. I love it. No, I love it. Absolutely love it. And
Listen,
that's going to bring it.
listen, I love toys. I love these things, but I can always buy them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had somebody hit me. I think it might have been my very first interview with Trevor Williams, who said I wouldn't grab any of my figures. I'd grab like a Darth Vader like helmet that was like upstairs. He's like, it's not even in my collection room, but it was like made from like one of the screen used. It was like a cast from like the screen used like Vader helmet from A New Hope. He was like, that's
So he
what
talking
I'm
about saving history. That's a little different. That's not even about.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was like, I wouldn't save any of the figures. He's like, I can buy them all again. He's like, I could buy. There's nothing in this room I can't replace. He's like, I can't replace that helmet. And I was like, yeah,
Even if I couldn't replace any of this, I'd just be like, okay, it's time to start over. Life
yeah,
is like that. Life is like
yeah.
that. And it's not
Start
the
over.
first time. I've had to start over 3 times already. So
Yeah, yeah. We've all been there. Had to get rid of it and do it again. And yeah, it's just we always come back to it. That's good. So, final question. I can't believe we burned through them so quickly. Everybody's going to be like, "Oh, you must not like talking with D. His interview was super short." And I was like, "It could have been more different." Like, I absolutely, dude, I could talk to you for the next 4 hours. I totally could, but I really want you to get some rest. I could do this all night. But what is your favorite thing about collecting right now?
ooh, that's a good one. I but just to answer the other thing, I also think that I answered in ways that are just ways you don't expect. So probably just throwing you for a loop, like
I love it. Like I never know what I'm gonna get. Like when I sit down and talk to somebody, and I love that. I mean, this is like if I ran into you at like a con or whatever, and you had time to just sit and talk for an hour. These are the same questions I would ask you there. Like this is like what I like to get to know about fellow toy collectors because everybody's got their own like loves and likes and dislikes and rules and guidelines, and everybody's different, and like but we all come together around like the same common thing. So I know I love like.
No, it's funny that you say that because I'm like, I wish that things like this shine more online, as opposed to like a stock image and a voiceover video for 8 minutes. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But again, like it's all about AI, algorithm, and what's first. I want things that were put in with love to shine over that stuff, and it's hard to do,
Right.
which is why I like doing stuff like this. You know, it means a lot that I can come on and I can be myself. Then I don't have to worry about nonsense questions. These are fun.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much, man. Yeah, it's all about getting to know the person, because it's like we think we know somebody like from and no matter how authentic we try to be, no matter how authentic we may try to be online. I mean, we're not our online personas. I'm not always up. Sometimes I'm down. I'm down quite a lot. And so it's like kind of like peeling that back a little bit and just getting to see like, more of the person behind the reviews. It's like
because I don't think I'm anything like my online version. The online me,
mm,
right? And then you see me in person and you're like, this guy is way too goddamn animated. Right?
dude,
And I'm
that's
like,
why I said I never called you boring. I said I thought you were very serious. I thought you
oh
were
no, I know
you
I'm
did
boring.
yeah, I thought you were very serious. And then I met you in person. I was like, my dude's a lot of fun. Like he's like the goofy picture thing threw me. That threw me. I was like, I was not expecting that from him.
Yeah. Listen, the reason why is because very early in my online career, I faced a lot of hate. So I have learned to keep that online, which is not a persona, it's just one version of me, like one side of me, to
Hmm.
just that. Because I don't want anybody in my personal life being weird. You know what I mean? I
Right.
let some people in before, and then like my personal life got really weird. And I was like, don't need that. Especially not over plastic dinosaurs that died 65 million years ago. Absolutely not. So,
Right.
so no, I'm not gonna deal with that. So I keep the online stuff to like the videos, just the videos. And I tell people like, and I be meaning when I tell people, if you have questions, email me. I will answer your questions. You want to do a
Yeah.
podcast? If I have time, I will appear. You want to take a photo? Let's do it. I'm not gonna charge you jack shit. Let's take this photo. You
Yeah.
know, I love doing that stuff because it creates good memories for people. What I don't like is having to like force myself into like a hole online. I
Hmm.
know I can be far more animated and far more myself, talk about, but I don't feel like dealing with people because online it's just this.
Hmm. Right. Right. Absolutely.
Come out and meet me for dinner. I promise you, you won't talk that keyboard nonsense because
Exactly. Yeah.
you'll be too busy enjoying yourself.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I feel that. I feel that. All right. I'm gonna circle back to the question. What is your favorite thing about collecting right now? Because we got off on a tangent.
No, that was it, right there.
Oh, this.
That was it.
Perfect. I love it.
That's what I
That's
was leading
awesome.
into.
All right. Sorry. I just missed it. I missed the
No,
thread on
no,
that
you
one, but
didn't.
no, I
You didn't
appreciate it.
miss it. It was a trick. It was a trick. This is
This
the answer you was looking for.
is the answer I was looking for 100%. Seriously.
The thing that I've been enjoying the most, and if we're talking about the physicality of toys, the thing I've been enjoying the most is that we are in a golden age of toys. We are getting things, and like, even though like we're waiting a short time for certain stuff, waiting a long time for certain stuff, but every toy has been utterly fantastic. We are getting
Yeah.
to a point where toys will only continue to grow and get better from here. Lord willing, the world can keep going, and we can just keep getting more toys.
Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. Dude, I cannot believe how quickly we got through this. This was a lot of fun, and I honestly like, dude, I enjoy talking with you so much. I would love to have you back on at some point in the future, and hey,
Okay.
I'll come up with something else that we could talk about.
Okay.
But it won't. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I really appreciate you, man, for
As long
doing
as I got
this.
the time, I'll show up. Just like I told you in the DMs, I'm like, as long as I get the time, I'll show up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Yeah, man. All right. Well, cool. I'll definitely try to work something out to where we can get back together soon. And I would love to like sit and chat with you some more. But man, I really hope everything's going well with your family. I hope you can go and get some rest, much needed rest. And I cannot wait to see your Sir Elijah video. So definitely, thank you so much for being here. Hey, everybody, please go check out D at all of his socials. I'm going to run them again down here at the bottom.
Don't let him do that, y'all. Don't let him do that. Don't listen to him. Tell him to drink water. Don't listen. Drink the water, y'all. You're gonna end up like him.
Exactly, a dehydrated man. Yeah,
Exactly.
definitely. Everybody, drink your water. And thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. And D and I, we'll see you in the toy house, or maybe we won't. I don't know. Drink your water.
Yeah, boy.